First of all, folks, a good Yom Tov. Good Yom Tov means a good day. It means a good holiday day. Today's Yud Aleph Nisan, the 11th day of the month of Nisan. A few days before Pesach, of course, before Passover. But today is a very special day. It is the day 118 years ago. Our dear Rebbe, Lubavitcher Rebbe, came into this world. And you know, the day that you come into this world means a day that God says, I need you. You're significant to me and to the world. Significant to God, then you're significant to the world. And many of us leave this world, and for sure we've made a difference. But some people leave this world, and as a Rebbe 25 years ago plus, physically left this world, but hasn't, because his presence and his impact is greater today than ever before. So today's a day to take stock, to think about our year and forthcoming year. Something more we'll discuss later, but briefly, to write to the Ohel, to the Rebbe, upon Pidyon Nefesh, a letter asking for blessings, asking for a deeper connection to God, for a Jew, for their Torah mitzvahs, their Yiddishkeit, for someone who isn't Jewish, also write in, asking for a blessing for your path in the 7 Noachide laws, and give a gift. Give the Rebbe a gift of a mitzvah, or an enhancement of a mitzvah. Whether it's saying Psalms every day because you haven't said till now, or saying the Rebbe Psalm 119, or part of it. It's a very long one. Whatever it is a special day to gain blessings and to give blessings. And to give blessings. So a good Yom Tov. All right. Tanya, chapter 39. Lishma. To do it, for God's sake. A mitzvah. We can do a mitzvah because various motivating factors. We can do good, various motivating factors. But in order that a mitzvah, and what we've been speaking about, is that through a mitzvah you bring the presence of God into this world, through the act of the mitzvah, the presence of God through the act, and you make a dwelling place for God in this world, but that it should be an illuminated mitzvah, that it should go to the divine and become eternal. It needs to, as the Alter Rebbe says today, have wings. Something more in the next chapter we'll discuss at greater length. Wings means that it's propelled upwards to the divine realms above. And as we explained, depending what your motivation is, it will depend where it gets propelled to. But a bird has 2 wings. Why? It's because you need 2 wings to fly. You know why? Because our mitzvah, for it to fly to the divine and to be connected to the world of Bria or to the world of Yetzirah, based on what the motivation of the individual is it a love and awe of God that is something that we produce through comprehension that brings to a palpable love and awe? Or is it just the inherent instinctual love and awe that we are able to reveal when we are engaged in doing a mitzvah or studying Torah, as we're doing right now, and therefore propels to the world of Yetzirah, right? So, 2 wings, because the right wing is love. The left wing is fear/awe of God. And you need both of them in order to be able to have your mitzvah propelled. It cannot be just love. It cannot just be awe. You need both of them. And the truth is, as we will learn and have learned, they're really the flip side of a coin. 2 different ideas. When you love somebody, you fear being disconnected from them. When you're truly in awe with someone, there's a sense of wanting to connect to them. When you have a true awe, you want to connect. That's love. So one needs both in order to do. Now, why do you need the love and awe? So the Alter Rebbe explains like this. Lishma means to do it for God. You can't do something for another person and not for God unless you're motivated by love or awe. Otherwise, you're motivated for your own benefit. But love and awe will bring you to do something for another and ultimately to do it for God. So therefore, you need to have that in order to be able to call it lishma, that it's really for God's sake and it has wings that will ascend. As opposed to, is, for example, we're studying Torah right now. Let's give this as the example. The Alter Rebbe gives an example. Let's say you're studying Torah to make you feel good or to make you look good. You know, I don't think that's the case of people here, but you know what? Throughout the ages, Jews studied the Talmud because it sharpened your mind. It made you smart. And then you were, you know, and if you were a very, Talmudic scholar, you would get honor from other people. They would honor you. And even today, by the way. You get honored. Oh, he's a great scholar. He's a great teacher. And what motivates you is, you want to look good in front of others. That's not doing it for God's sake. That's doing it for your own sake. That mitzvah has no wings. There's no love and awe there. It's all self-directed. It doesn't rise up. The Alter Rebbe even goes further. Now, I wouldn't think that most of us would be directed in such a manner, but what we may be motivated by, as the Alter Rebbe explains, doing things out of rote. And actually, I would suggest most of us are not in that level. As the Alter Rebbe explains, you were raised in a certain way. So if you were raised in a home where you study Torah and you do mitzvahs, you were raised in a home that, you were taught to be charitable. You were taught to go and, do kind, loving acts. Now it's a little difficult to go visit people who are sick in the hospital. You can't do it. You can't even go to make a shiva call. Now you have to do it. Well, you could. You can make a shiva call, but not a shiva visit, right? To someone who is mourning and you want to fulfill the mitzvah of comforting the mourner. So you might do these mitzvahs or put on your tefillin in the morning and pray to God out of rote. That's an easier one, praying and doing it out of rote. Oh, I'm sure I've been there. We've all been there. That means that you were not motivated by the love and awe of God, so it doesn't descend the mitzvah. We'll speak more about it later in future classes. It remains down here, so to speak. It doesn't arise to the divine world of Yitzira or Bria, where it has an eternity to it, where the soul will then have the divine experience of it, the pleasure of that mitzvah that you have done after 120. You won't have it. Because either you did it for self-aggrandizement, study of Torah, as we mentioned, for the honor, or you put on your tefillin and you said your prayers because that's what you're accustomed to, because that's the habit, because you've been trained that way. Well, that's not doing it lishma, for the sake of God. Because as we said, lishma, to do it for the sake of God, is only when you're motivated with love and awe of God. And as we explained, that love and awe comes in two forms. The lower level, the instinctual love and awe that we have in us, because our soul, our divine soul, is got a love and awe towards God. It has it. And we just merely bring out that love and awe that's there by being aware, conscious. Why am I studying Torah now? Why am I studying Tanya? Because that's what God Almighty wants. He wants me to connect to him. He wants that his wisdom should be my wisdom, that his vision should be my vision. Well, the only way you can do that is by studying Torah. And one of the best ways to do it, at least, is through the study daily of Tanya. So that conscious awareness, right, that we're conscious of that. Again, it doesn't mean we're constantly thinking it. It doesn't mean we even have a palpable feeling in our hearts. We don't. Conscious awareness, that reveals the love that our soul does have, the awe/fear that our soul does have for God. And therefore that becomes the motivator, and therefore brings the wings to ascend the mitzvah. Now, remember that even if we did it out of rote and we say the words of Torah and say the words of prayer and put on our tefillin and we do it out of rote, we're still bringing the presence of God into this world. But me, where am I? Is it illuminating me? Is it illuminating this world? Is it ascending on high to the divine spheres, divine attributes above? No. Unless I have that love and awe. Again, that love and awe can be not one that I palpably feel in my heart. That's not the one we're explaining now. We're explaining the one now is that I have a love and awe that is already existing. It's the instinct of my divine soul. My divine soul is enclosed in a body and animal soul that needs to be revealed, redeemed from its imprisonment. And when I am aware that I'm studying Tanya now, in order that I can connect to God, that I can have his divine wisdom and a vision to become my personal wisdom, intelligence, and vision, that mere awareness, thought of that is then the love and awe that is necessary of our soul to have it propel. The higher level, which I don't believe we're going to get there, not just yet. I don't think I'm there either, by the way. Is that we meditate and contemplate it, whether it doesn't have to be now, but at some points, throughout our days, meditate and contemplate upon the greatness of God to such a degree, and the greatness of what it means to study of Torah, the greatness of some mitzvah that we're engaged in, or just God's power as creator. And it brings us to a palpable feeling in our hearts of love and awe of God. And then we engage because of that love and awe. It brings us to a desire to cleave to God. That brings us then to do the actual mitzvah or the study of Torah. Then that's a higher level. I don't think we could try it a bit and we might get a sampling of it. I think that's the most we'll get, because that gets us to the world of Bria, which really is a level of certain righteous people. Not the greatest righteous are even beyond that, but righteous people. So, powerful idea here. More to come. So, folks, again, today is Yud Aleph Nisan, a good Yontif. Today, the Rebbe's birthday, born in 1902, makes him 118. Even after someone passes away, the soul lives on, and therefore the soul even has years to it. So we're going into chapter 119 of Tehillim. As I mentioned earlier, take the day as a day of specialness, of connection to what, for me, and I'm sure for many of you who are online with me, and for those who not yet recognize the Rebbe as a Rebbe, so there's a day to have the opportunity for that, to connect. You'll get things on here on Chabad.org's Facebook page, things that you can learn more about the Rebbe and his teachings and his vision, that we can institute and become a part of us. And take the opportunity today to write a pan, pidyon nefesh, a redemption of soul, a letter to the Rebbe at the Ohel, Rebbe, Rebbe, at Ohel Chabad, Ohel Chabad, CHABAD.org, asking for blessings, asking for things. Write your name. If you have a Jewish name / Hebrew name, write that with your mother's Jewish / Hebrew name. Asking for a bracha, and also give a gift. It's a birthday. Birthdays, you give gifts, but the gifts are mitzvahs. What mitzvah are we going to take upon ourselves? What extra are we going to do? You know, it's not your party and you can do and you can cry if you want. That's not the Jewish way. It's not your day and therefore it's about you. No, it's your day. Your birthday is your day, about what more we can give. So, a birthday of a Rebbe, of a Nasi, of a general soul, being that we're parts of that general soul. And the proof is because we're learning Tanya together, that means we are connected already to the Rebbe as a result. Not just the Alter Rebbe, but all the Rebbes after that are the continuation of the Alter Rebbe, all the way to the Baal Shem Tov, all the way to Moshe Rabbeinu, ultimately, to Moses. And as leaders, we are connected as followers, and therefore becomes a special day for us in that connection. And again, get the most of it. I also do want to mention that because of the current situation, what's going on, that there's a campaign of everybody getting a letter in the Torah, Unity Torah. I'll put a link in that people can get. We're doing it here in Montreal. I'll put the link from us here, but there's also, which is united with the Unity Torah throughout the world. Furthermore, we're going to have more tonight. For those who want to follow Chabad on Facebook, Chabad ZK, Chabad Zichron Kadeshim, what it stands for, but Chabad ZK on Facebook. Be a class tonight about Pesach and about Yud Aleph Nissen, about today on Facebook at 7:30. So follow. As I've mentioned previously, those who want, and we're working on more content, more teachings, especially that there's now a time to do so much online, please private message me with your email, so we can put you part of our continued learning group with more things to come. And that's it. I'm sorry, but there's something wrong over here that I did not see today on my feed. Any names that came up, it is on others. Oh, let me see, the comments are here. Okay, you have to excuse me, but tomorrow, hopefully, we'll, all the people that I missed. First of all, Shavua Tov, a good Vach, a good new week. It should be a great new week and a good Yom Tov again. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from my home in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have a wonderful week and a great day.